Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna go right into it and let you see something. I will start off with this. This is Congressman Matt Gaetz from Florida, and he is revealing something that is very near and dear to me because I am a retired military guy, Army, and I'll let you hear from him. Here we go.
You requested in this budget, right?
Certainly, Congressman.
And the train and equip mission in Niger is owned by the Army, right?
Yes, we certainly provide soldiers for that, yes.
General, do you know what is going on in Niger right now?
I know there's some challenges over
Yeah.
there in Niger right now, and I don't think that we are actually in charge of that mission that's on the ground.
Well, yeah, we just heard the secretary say you've got soldiers there, so we're gonna dive into that to some extent. Do you know what the status is of diplomatic overflights to our installations in Niger?
Yeah, I'm vaguely tracking that that's a challenge over
Well,
there.
yeah, I mean, it's not a challenge, it's binary.
Just in case those that don't know what he was talking about with the flights. So those are flights that should be flown in to where our Army, Navy, Airmen, or Marines are, so that they can get their needed supplies. So water, medication, um, if they need a certain type of cleaning products, stuff like that. So stuff that they need to survive.
Right? Are we allowed right now to do diplomatic overflights in Niger? Yes or no?
I don't know exactly. I'm not tracking
Madam
it that
Secretary,
close.
do you know if we're allowed to do those diplomatic overflights?
I don't, but I'm sure the AFRICOM commander does.
Yeah, but you guys just said it's in the budget you're asking for to do these train and equip missions. One of them is in Niger. In Niger right now, the government has stopped us from doing diplomatic overflight missions. So we have Army soldiers right now in Niger who aren't getting their troop rotations, who aren't getting their medicine, who aren't getting their supplies, who aren't getting their mail. And the two senior people in the United States Army are sitting before me, and it's like, hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. Are you going to do anything for the soldiers that are in Niger right now who can't get medicine? Yes or no?
Congressman, certainly, we can talk to General Langley and make sure that...
Oh, I've talked to General Langley. He comes in here and never has really good answers. I mean, I asked him for information about how many of the coup leaders we had trained, including in Niger and Ghana and Mali and the Ivory Coast. This is Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya, and this is a photo of him. Did we train and equip him?
By name, I cannot identify that.
Well, that's him with a bunch of U.S. service members outside of our embassy. And just months after this photo was taken in 2021, he led a coup in Guinea and threw out the leader. Does that concern you?
Congressman, core values is what we start off with in IMA programs.
Do we share
stick to
core
that.
values with Colonel Doumbouya?
Core values.
Did anybody see? This pisses me off because these are our leaders. He's a Marine general, 4-star, so he's up there. And did you hear the answer? We lead with core. That's not what he asked you. But see, people are, if you're wondering why our military is hurting right now, especially when it comes to recruiting numbers, people are starting to pay attention now. And they are seeing this. And you know what? They're saying, you know what? I'd rather go in debt in college and go get indoctrinated with gender studies, which doesn't do anything for me, but I'm actually this is shameful that we have these types of leaders at the top. Now, I don't know anything about him. Like I said, he's a Marine general. I'm pretty sure, and I'm just guessing, that he didn't start out this way. But it looks like to me that this is the way he ended. And this goes back to a saying or a quote. Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Like I said, I don't think he started out this way, but like anybody, once you start to get in certain levels, your mindset changes and you think you're invulnerable. I can't be touched. That's just my guess.
Values. I will repeat that.
He let it coup.
We do.
First, I asked you in that clip, how many coup leaders did we train? You didn't know. And so then I put it in the law for you to tell me. The law requires you to tell me by tomorrow. So can you give us a preview of coming attractions?
You get that. You'll get your answer, Congressman. But let me say, there's no correlation and there's no causation of U.S. training to these members.
Well, that's what I'm
having a
trying to
coup.
find out, because in like a dozen countries, the coup leaders are people we trained. Like, what a difference a year makes. March 16th, 2023, Secretary Blinken calls Niger, quote, a model of resilience, a model of democracy, a model of cooperation. 1 year and 1 day later, Dr. Wallander, the spokesperson of the Nigeri military, Colonel Amadou Amabrame, says, quote, the American presence in the territory of the Republic of Niger is illegal. A year and a day after our government said they were the model of resilience and democracy, they are throwing us out by the scruffs of our neck. And he didn't even produce his report on time. So pardon me for a lack of confidence in General Langley. What I'm telling the two of you is that you have a responsibility for these soldiers in Niger. And General, you would agree with me with the premise that we should never sacrifice the well-being of our service members to avoid political embarrassment, right?
Congressman, I will tell you, I'm not tracking that somebody in Niger is not getting their medicine or their mail, but I will, follow up.
You don't even know the status
after
of
this.
diplomatic overflights. How about the great power competition? You would agree on train and equip missions. We would never want Russian soldiers at the U.S. installation where we're doing train and equip, right? That's not even a tough question. You would agree.
Yes.
And so if there were Russian soldiers behind the wire at Airbase 101 in Niger, where we have soldiers doing the train and equip mission, that would concern you, wouldn't it? Right. Well, I'm here to tell you, we've received reports that they run out of medicine in May, that they cannot get their troop rotations. And you know why you don't know that? Because it's a cover-up. Because the U.S. Embassy in Niger is covering it up because of Secretary Blinken's embarrassment. Because Blinken went there in March of 2023 and said this was the centerpiece of our Africa strategy. This was the model of resilience. And then, lo and behold, the very coup leader we trained takes over the country. And then we struggle with whether or not to call it a coup. We've now called it a coup. Since we've called it a coup, now they won't let us get folks in and out. And so I'm looking at what could erupt as another Benghazi, where there is no mission to do. There is no train and equip right now with the coup leaders. So we got a bunch of people sitting around without their supplies, without their medicine. And the whole reason intelligence isn't getting to us is because the embassy is blocking it, because Blinken is humiliated that this failed. And I've used my 5 minutes.
For those subscribers and hopefully future subscribers of this channel, I know things are a little rough right now, but I'm starting. And because I'm tired of this, this really bothers me. I am out. I'm retired. And I have seen some of this stuff, leadership not really knowing what's going on. But now that I'm out and looking in, I see it elevating more and more and more. Now, the reason why it really, really bothers me is because I have friends that have kids or their sons and daughters that are of age, graduating high school, and they're talking about joining the military. Now, how do I read? How do I make it positive for them to go in the military when they're seeing stuff like this? How could I spin that? Not even spin it, because how do I tell them, yes, this is a good thing for you to do? And when they see stuff like this is not the only thing. There's a lot of things, excuse me, that are being revealed now that it makes it hard for me to promote joining the military right now. Now, I love the military. I did 20 years. I enjoyed it. Not every day, no. But majority of my time in the military, I loved it. But I can't honestly relay positive information to young kids wanting to get into the military when they are seeing stuff like this. That really bothers me. You have young men, young women overseas in another country that can't get their medication. What if some of them have asthma? What if some of them has high blood pressure in in very, very hot places? That's not a good combination. What if they'll have sleep problems, gut problems, muscle problems? They can't get their medication. So what are they doing? They're suffering. This has to stop. And I'm trying to let people know what is going on from what I see. So subscribe, share, like, and please comment on what else you would like for me to bring up, especially when it comes to this with our military. Because when poo-poo hits the fan and we get invaded, the first place people are going to look is our military. And if we don't have the numbers, there ain't too much we can do. What, armed citizens that most states right now are trying to get rid of the Second Amendment? So how do we defend? I mean, you don't have to look too far. The border is wide open with military-aged males coming in. People, protect yourself, protect your homes, protect your family by any means necessary. Help me get this information out to others so others can see what is going on. Until then, protect yourself. Peace.